Hello, everyone. Hello, welcome to the stream. Sorry that I started the stream with a big sigh. Something to do with the stream. Hello, everyone. It is Saturday today. Well, Friday for a lot of you, I guess. But here we are. Let me close all my things. What am I doing? Phone? Yes. Sorry I'm late. I actually had technical difficulties this time. The mouse was like stuck in, like I couldn't, it's hard to explain, but basically it was like locked onto the Umineko window, but I had something else over it, so I couldn't get it to do things. I had to alt tab and stuff. It's fine, but it took me a sec to figure out how to do. I even tried to put it into sleep, and then to wake it up again, and yeah, anyway. I'm here now. I'm always late. Ooh, even when I'm early, I'm late. Oh, it's not fair. It's not fair. Is it, Naru? Naru says, shush. Because she's mean like that. Oops. No, yeah, no, that's fine. Oh, okay. Just making sounds. Oh, good. That's how we like it. Under the streaming link. Legend of Noct, the breath of the Bumjin. Oh, why? Oh, Jesus. Okay. Phone, can you relax? Can you not? Can you refresh this? No? Okay. That's great. Anyway. Yes, I haven't played this game in ages. Naru's here, she's just on the couch. Naru. Am I over here? She's looking at me like. She doesn't know if she should come over or not. Huh? What's she doing? Okay, anyway. Does anybody remember what was happening in this game? Because, shouldn't this have a roof? Did someone forget to draw in the roof? Is that what I'm looking at here? Hold on. I don't think I ended the chapter, did I? Like, I shouldn't be in the tea party section. I don't think. What? Wait, I didn't mean to. Hold on. Nah, just stop this. Stop it. Stop it all. Shush. Why does the escape button not work? Look. Look. Why can't... Let me open the menus. Stop this. Thank you. My goodness. Episode 3 must be this one. Okay. Let's try this again. Okay, let's just go back a little bit. I don't remember this clapping battle. I have no memory of this place, but I'm sure they'll say what's happening 1,000 times as they always do, so. Yeah, apparently. It's kind of weird, isn't it? Has it really been 4 weeks since I last played? More than 4 weeks, possibly. It's weird. Anyway, Rosa returned to the lobby. It was still her turn to rest, but her expression made it look as though she couldn't sleep deeply with all this tension. Take it easy and lie down. Keep this up and you'll have it pretty rough later on. Thanks for the concern. I just couldn't fall asleep. I've already taken a shower, so I'm good for now. Even though I put on the same clothes that I was just wearing, so it's almost as though I shouldn't have had a shower. I mean, it's almost as though I didn't have a shower at all. The next person can rest. What about you two, Kiria-san, Rudolph-san? What will we do, Rudolph? I don't remember their voices. Ah! What will we do, Rudolph-san? Shall we rest? Yeah. Oh, he has a gun. You can rest. I'll stay awake. That's the only manly thing I can do right now. Yeah, staying awake's so manly. Oh. Then I'll stay awake. Staying awake with my husband is the only womanly thing I can do right now. I'm not sure if these people know what being awake means. Look at her face! You two truly are close. You should talk. Oh, rip. It seems Eva and Hideyoshi-san are out cold. Oh god. Oh god, his voice made me die. Hold on a sec. Not all dying. Somebody save me. Okay. Obviously I'm out of practice. It seems Eva and Hideyoshi-san are out cold. It appears that unlike Rosa, they can't fight against their age. I am such a dick. My haircut looks like Trump's. As though in response to those words, the door to the hall clunked open. Eva and Hideyoshi returned from the guest room. That's none of your business. Oh, Rosa, are you sure you don't need to rest yet? You should talk, Ne-san. Nice thunder sound. Why not take it easy and sleep? Her face. Eva's face. I just can't get to sleep. Taking a shower shook my drowsiness off. Rudolph, Kiria-san, you can rest if you want. Sure, thanks. Well, for now, let's say I appreciate the sentiment. Why don't you go first, Aniki? How kind of you. But I cannot rest first. That is the most I can do as the oldest brother right now. Oh my god, the scene! Do not worry, the two of us will stay awake until the very end. More importantly, Eva Ne-san. Are you okay? You look a little pale. Come to think of it, you're right. Could it be a bit of a fever? Hideyoshi put his hand up against Eva's forehead. It seemed that Eva wasn't feeling her best. Of course she's not. That goes without saying. That's what happens when you break your sleep cycle at your age. I don't... Or the whole situation that's... Okay. Is it a cold? Natsuhi, could you cool Dr. Nanjo down? Yes. Cat got your tongue? Sorry, I shouldn't have given you his voice. Cat got your tongue? Is that better? I'm fine. You don't have to make such a fuss over it. I have some medicine, so I'll be okay. I tend to get fevers when I'm tired. Don't worry. Nissan, take it easy, okay? Thank you. If the siblings gathered without me around, I get the feeling everyone would start talking behind my back. It's a persecution complex from long ago. Sorry, okay? Well, I won't say anything. As if I'd say bad things about you behind your back, Nissan. Isn't that what siblings do? What is it? Nissan, you've been acting strange for a while. Shouldn't you get a little rest now? You're right. Just thinking about raising money by March makes my headache hurt even more. That isn't good. Rest. It's a helicopter, apparently. Wants to join in. And I'll hold back too, so that your headache doesn't get worse. I've had a bad headache myself for a while now. Thank you. Well then, I'll take those words to heart and rest for a while. How dare you trumpetize my message? How dare you What is it, Eva? Why so angry all of a sudden? Sorry, please let us rest a bit longer. Sorry. After apologizing several times as though praying, which was fucking weird, Hideyoshi followed Eva out of the lobby. Just go have sex already, we know that's what you want to do. I don't like this atmosphere. It's all so strained. That's no surprise. There was a murder early this morning. And since then we've been eating canned food and carrying guns around. It's natural that we'd start to build up stress. I wonder if the kids out there are building up stress too. I'm worried about Maria. She tends to throw tantrums at times like this. At that moment, they heard the sound of wild footsteps. That wasn't a wild footstep, that was a thud, but sure. Wild footsteps, dun, 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 coming from the second floor. The guest house wasn't a cheap building, so they wouldn't normally have heard the sound of footsteps. Okay. It was like the sound of someone stamping their feet in frustration. And an instant later, accompanied by what seemed to be the sound of her running out into the second floor hallway, they could hear Maria calling, "Ooh!" over and over again, sounding displeased. Of course it's Maria. Rosa grabbed her head, her hair flying, and she voicelessly moaned in anguish. Grabbed her head? Like, her own head? Or Maria's head? The adults conscientiously turned their backs to her, pretending not to notice. Why? Stop it! Stop turning your back on child abuse. It is wrong. If that's what's happening. Maybe that's not what's happening. Never mind. The noisy clamor came down from the second floor and flew into the lobby. Flew literally with the wings. It was Maria who was sobbing along with the other children and Nanjo. In other words, they had all come downstairs because of Maria's tantrum. Rosa couldn't hide her dizziness at this new annoyance her daughter was bringing to everyone. Oh my god, these people are so fucked up. Sorry, Aunt Rosa. We tried to calm her, but she just wouldn't listen. Ooh, ooh, ooh. What is it, Maria? Could you be a little more quiet? Everyone's watching. It's that rose of hers from the rose garden. She suddenly started saying that she was worried about it. I think she's half asleep. She suddenly woke up and started going on about how worried she was about that rose. Maria, calm down. That was just a dream. Ooh, that rose belonged to Beatrice and me, so if I don't take care of it, Beatrice is gonna get mad. It might get snapped off again. Ooh, ooh. I'm telling you to quiet down a bit, okay? A sudden rise in the rows of Toner's voice. Rosa's voice surprised the children. But Maria's crying just grew louder and her tantrum just grew fiercer. Rosa-san, you mustn't scold a child so unsparingly, 'cause it's evil and you're a bad person. At times like this, it's best to give them some warm milk or something. Is there any here? The milk we just had for breakfast is empty now. The milk is empty. The milk is empty. Doesn't anyone have a sedative to use on kids? Oh my god. What is how are these people parents? What is wrong with you? Oh my god. It's surely not that difficult to calm down a child. Jesus. I feel like Maria has some kind of autism. Have I said this before? Doesn't anyone have a sedative used on kids? You know those silver pill things? Silver? Like cyanide? Is cyanide silver? I have no idea. Opium? What is happening? I have some! Look at her face! Yes, I'll search for some now and give them to her. Without hiding her displeasure, Rosa grabbed the handbag that had been set on the sofa and fished around for some medicine. This is so horrible. You all deserve everything you get. Stop this. Holy shit. It seems she had brought some child-use sedatives from Maria's tantrums. No wonder she has tantrums, because you haven't taught her how to fucking calm down. You just medicate. Oh my god, I'm so mad right now. Maybe if you just listened to your fucking child, we wouldn't have this problem. She found it and opened the bottle, but it must have been empty. Good! Irritated, Rosa shook the bottle several times because she doesn't understand what empty means, but that didn't change the fact that nothing was in there. Oh, she grabbed her own hand. Oh, okay. Well, I know that now. As she did that, Maria's crying grew even more intense, although you left that message a while ago, so... Can you stop? Maria's gonna be so fucked up when she's older. I was gonna say an adult. No, that too. Jesus. At that time, Eva was lying on her bed, covered by the bedding. What? Okay. Does she get teleported? This is this is different, isn't it? I don't think we've seen this room like this. Have we? This looks like a Zelda dungeon. Oh, maybe we have. I recognize the map. I don't think I'd be able to sleep in a bed that's against a wall like that. I would be so freaked out somebody was going to come around the corner. No, 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 no. Hideyoshi returned from the washroom, folding a handkerchief soaked in water. But it is a cool design. Ooh, this is one nasty fever. I'll bet it's the poisonous air at this family conference that got you. For now, you can forget all about the other relatives. Okay. As Hideyoshi... okay. As Hideyoshi spoke to her kindly, he set the soaked handkerchief on Eva's burning forehead. Eva rested her own hand on top of his. Sorry for the sniff, everyone. Your hand. I don't know who's talking. Maybe it's the chandelier. Feels nice and cool. If my hand feels nice, your fever must be pretty... Oh, these two are gonna die, aren't they? If my hand feels nice, your fever must be pretty bad. Don't worry, the medicine will start working soon, because I have hot, sweaty hands all the time. Plus, my hand is a magic hand. That's why it's so sweaty. I just put it against your forehead like this, and any fever will melt right away. That's not at all the feeling of the sweat from my hand running down your face. You're right. Your hand always makes my fevers fade. Because you are magical. Yep. No need for a doctor when you've got my hand. So terrible. Oh my god. I don't need to read about your sexual endeavors. Don't worry and close your eyes. No, it's just so much worse. My magic will make that fever fade away. Yes, I know. I can feel your magic. Can this end? Please? Hideyoshi was about to say it was just a placebo effect, but he stopped because that would be ridiculous. Well, not ridiculous, just like, don't do that. You're making her feel better. Although I don't need to read about it. If Eva said she could feel magic coming from his hand, then that was fine for now. I wonder if magic really exists. Yeah, it does. Only those who believe can tell, though. I don't know who's talking. There's actually a lot of magic like that out there in the world. If magic actually exists, then I wonder if witches actually exist too. Oh? You mean that witch of the forest Beatrice? She probably does exist for those who believe. Just like the gods. They don't show themselves except in front of those with strong faith. Sure. I don't know who's talking, but okay. I did it too, you know. Long ago, I was able to use magic. Oh? Really? Then you were a witch too. I had dreams that I wanted to come true no matter what. After wishing strongly and trying hard, they always came true without fail. With my magic, my grades were always the best, and I even became the student council president and worked hard to get into the university I wanted. Everything I wished for was granted, because you worked hard, but okay. That's right. Your magic was always a thing to be reckoned with. You're definitely a witch. And you work harder than anyone. I know all about it. Is he going to give her invitation to Hogwarts? Ever? You're a witch. When I was a kid, the whole time there was another me inside myself who always supported me. By the way, I have multiple personalities, just so you know. And that other self was a witch. Actually, it's like it's her id. I didn't believe in Beatrice, the witch of the forest. I always believed that if a witch of rock Enjima did exist, it was the witch inside my heart. This is actually a totally different game that I can't say because it'd be spoilers, but yeah. I was so grateful to that witch inside myself. I was always grateful that she brought me to you. You get too timid when you're sick. Don't say anything for now. Yeah, shut up. I'll stay like this the whole time until your fever's gone down, but only if you stop talking to me. Yes, I will be demure and quiet. Don't take your hand away, no matter what. No matter what. Somehow, I feel like I'm becoming something that isn't myself, and I've been scared for a while now. Yep. That's what happens. I get the feeling that the witch inside me... This is such an awkward conversation. Was provoked by Beatrice, and is growing stronger and stronger. Somehow, it feels like she's going to swallow me whole. His face! He's like, ha ha ha. It's okay. As long as I'm with you, there's nothing to be afraid of. Remember the time we went to that dangerous country and the whole bus got robbed? Which dangerous country? I drove them off. Did you? Didn't you just hand over your gold watch and beg them to go away? It was pretty lame, but it was cool. Don't move your hand away, no matter what. Not even if I fall asleep. And if something creepy sneaks in here, protect me. Oh, they're gonna die. Yep, leave it to me. That's why I'm telling you to stop worrying and get to sleep. Because the medicine and my magic will start working real soon. This is so awkward. It's like she's like suddenly, she's being infantilized all of a sudden. Like, both of them are responsible, but it's just awkward and... Okay. Eva finally calmed her heart and closed her eyes. I just spat on my... Ew, I spat on my monitor. Okay, it's gone now. At that time, there was the sound of a door being opened violently from the direction of the lobby. It seemed that Mario was having a tantrum, and screams of "Ugh!" could be heard, along with Rose's rebuke. Oh, wait. Oh, this was it. Oh, this was Eva. Of course it was. I was thinking it was Rosa. So actually I kind of did the voice wrong. I will just pretend that Eva sounds like Rosa when she's sick. It's fine. It seemed that, yes, along with Rosa's rebuking yells, that probably hurt Eva's ears. Or maybe it was giving her a headache. Or both. Eva moaned as though in pain and buried herself in the covers. It was easy to guess what was happening. Marty had probably had a tantrum for some reason, gone down to the lobby and... Yes, because we were there, remember? And started arguing with Rosa, who then scolded her daughter. And then, maybe that got too embarrassing to be shown in front of the other relatives, so Rosa had taken Maria out into the corridor. Hideyoshi had no desire to butt in on Rosa and Maria's problem. But just for now, since Eva's condition was so bad, he wanted them to take their ruckus somewhere else. No, that's not the right reaction. The right reaction is stop hitting your child, and maybe she'll stop crying. Fucking hate that. When you're crying, and then, like, you get hit by a parent because they want you to stop crying, but it just makes you cry more. Pretty sure I had a couple experiences like that when I was little. Anyway, it was a different time back then. Wait just a sec. I'll ask him to keep it down. Come back quickly. Don't worry, I won't need this. Oh no, she will die, and then he will be blamed for killing her, and then he'll die. Don't worry, I won't leave this room. Oh. Are you lying? Rosa, keep it down! Hideyoshi removed the chain, opened the door, and stuck his face out to the corridor. He immediately met Rosa's gaze. Everything okay, Rosa-san? I'm sorry, did all this noise wake you? Ooh! Ooh! Maria-chan. Maria-chan, sorry. Aneva isn't feeling well. She's trying to sleep. Could you quiet down a bit? This is not the right way to do things. Oh my god. It's not the child's fault. How about you listen to the child? They're not having a tantrum just because they feel like it. This makes me so angry. I mean, I'm not an expert on parenting, but I still know this is wrong. I mean, I know there are some kids who have tantrums just because they're spoiled and whatever, but like, there's still, there are other ways. Other ways. Maria's tone didn't change after Hideyoshi's request. Of course it didn't, because she's a child. She kept crying, ooh, and repeating, my rose, my rose. Rosa slapped Maria's cheek, lifted her up while covering her mouth. Oh! Oh, okay. Like, she lifted her up and covered her mouth. I was thinking she was like... Okay. Dragged her to... I mean, this is still... Yeah. And dragged her towards the entrance, trying to at least put some distance between her and Hideyoshi's room. This is so fucked up. I want to slap you, Rosa. I don't care about your childhood being shitty and your brother being a piece of shit to you. No, wait, no, he was a piece of shit to Eva, not to Rosa. Yeah, so just... Anyway. And why is nobody doing anything about this? They're like, oh, we'll just let them do whatever. It's their business, not ours. It's like, you're related. Fucking do something. Nobody else will. Oh, it makes me so mad. She would probably be... She would still probably be noisy for a while, but he had warned Rosa for the time being. This game makes me angry. Relying on Rosa's actions as a mother, Hideyoshi closed the door. Relying on her... Oh, my good lord. Ooh, it makes me so mad. Is Maria-chan having a tantrum again? It looks like it. It's tough for Rosa-san, too. No, it's not! Come to think of it, our George is almost too good to be true. We should be grateful. We should... You're right. Hand. Oh, sorry. Look, it's the magic hand. What the fuck? He put his hand on Eva's forehead again. Maybe there really was magical power in that hand. A truly peaceful look rose to Eva's face, and okay. And bit by bit, she began to drift off into the land of sleep. And as he had promised, Hideyoshi kept his hand on her forehead, and it drove him crazy. It's bad enough keeping your hand on a mouse for a long period of time. By the entrance, with her hand still against Maria's mouth, Rosa was at a loss at what to do next. She hadn't been able to withstand everyone's gazes in the lobby, and had yelled at the children to go upstairs, dashing out of the lobby. Naru! Then she had gone out into the corridor, only to have Hideyoshi say that she was too noisy. I don't know where Naru is, actually. Where should I go now? Where should I take this child who's having a tantrum? Isn't this place humongous? Find another room. She felt as though tears of frustration were about to come out. As Maria kept struggling in an attempt to scream, Rosa put her mouth up to Maria's ear and tried to persuade Maria in a properly calm voice. Maria, do you really want to see that rose that much? Maria nodded her head several times, moaning, ooh. Why do you want to see it so much? I'll listen as your mother, so will you tell me quietly? I'll hit you if you scream. I feel sorry for Maria. I really do. Clearly she has some kind of autism. Like, I understand it's frustrating and stuff, but like, Jesus fucking Christ. My rose. Beatrice revived it. It might have snapped off again. I'm worried about that. I can't sleep until I'm sure. Apparently she was still upset about that marked rose from yesterday. Rosa felt her headache throbbing again. Just go fucking find the rose! But she was at least... Or tell Maria they will check in the morning, or something, anything other than screaming at her. So no, how is that going to help anything? I was like, oh, she'll listen if I scream and hit her. I don't think that's how it works. But she was at least a little relieved that Maria had now stopped her screaming. Anyway, everyone is having a hard time right now, so don't bother Mama and everyone else. You can worry about that rose all you want tomorrow when it stops raining. So for now, listen to me. No! No, 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 no! It's my Beatrice's rose! Ooh! Ooh! Ah! Rosa reflexively covered Maria's mouth. She had spoken a little too harshly and gotten her agitated again. Yes! Yes, she had. Rosa realized that it was partly her own fault and clicked her tongue in self-hatred. Good. But Maria thought that was directed at her, and her crying grew even fiercer. Oh, that's rip. Please, just be quiet. What can I do to make you stop crying? What should I do to make you listen to what your mama says? Suddenly, the music stopped. Maria stopped crying so fast that it seemed unnatural. Then she turned around and muttered, "Oh God, it's fucking creepy!" If I get to see my rose, I'll stay quiet until tomorrow. Scary fucking face. Ah, your face! Really? Yes. If we go to the rose garden and see my rose, I'll calm down. I mean it, Mama. Just get any fucking rose and show it to her. Oh! If it would keep Maria quiet for the time being, Rosa thought that even going out into this wind and rain would be a small price to pay. It's only a storm! She thought it might be a bit reckless. It's not reckless! Just go to the fucking rose! But in the end, no murder or anything of the sort had actually occurred. Oh yeah, I guess there was that murder that happened. So. All of that clamour since this morning had been a farce set up by Kinzo. What? If you carefully thought about that chain of closed rooms, it clearly had to all be an act. Okay. Would you really listen if you get to see the rose? Yes. I mean it, Mama. Oh, my leg. I had pins and needles on my leg, and it's unpleasant. Oh, save me. Can the blood just, like, carefully go into my leg? Does it have to rush there? Can it just relax? I'm gonna die. The Japanese people are always, like, super sensitive about the rain and being out in it because you will catch a cold. Yeah, I know. And it's like, oh my God, you were out in the cold, now you're like, like dying, and yes, that is kind of funny. I love to be in the rain. Ouch! Rosa didn't overlook that creepy laugh and lightly hit Maria with her fist. With her lightly hit her with her fist. Like a cat paw. Like, stop it, Maria. Stop it. It's terrible! At least use your palm, not your... Oh my... This... Can I throw her out into the rain, please? And she shrugged as though giving up. Oh! Are you gonna shoot her? I mean, that would make her be quiet, I guess. Understood. If it's just one look, then I'll agree. Will that work? Yes, Mama. I promise. Then Rosa shunted the gun to shut her up. Yeah. Once again, Rosa tested the weight of her gun on Maria's head. It'll be okay. It's only an act. There was never a murder on this island in the first place. Damn it! Wait, Aunt Rosa. Are Aunt Rosa and Maria the sacrifices for the second Twilight? Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! Someone notice them! Tell them to stop! What are those guys in the living room and us kids doing? Indeed. They're being considerate of Rosa's pitiful relationship with her daughter, and are forcibly changing the subject. Though I don't think they're being considerate. I think they're just trying to get it out of the room so they don't have to feel guilty for not doing anything about it, because they're fucking horrible people. The group that includes you went up to the second floor and was talking about something else while watching TV. You bastards! Someone! Notice them! They are bastards, you're not wrong. I agree. Who's the closest? Is it Uncle Hideyoshi? Please, notice that those two are leaving through the front door. It won't reach. It won't reach. Don't disturb their precious time together. Hideyoshi kept talking kindly, his hand on Eva's forehead. He didn't notice at all that Rosa and Maria were going outside through the front door because he doesn't have supersonic hearing or X-ray vision. In that case, there was no way the others in the lobby, which was even further away, would notice. Much less those in the cousin's room on the second floor. Why are you so panicked? Didn't you defeat me with that bold move, saying that the culprit died in an accident on the first Twilight? Doesn't that mean there's no longer a culprit on this island? Why? What is there to be so worried about? Shut up! I can see right through you. Someone stop them! Those two will be killed! Someone! Stop them! My neighbors are like... There was no way that Battler's voiceless scream. He's just in the background, like in one of the windows going... would reach Rosa or Maria. The two of them could be seen in the rose garden. The rain was still awful, but fortunately the wind had died down a little. Walk out into the rain and see Jockstrap standing in the garden. No, maybe that wasn't fortunate. Because maybe if the wind had been a little fiercer, Rosa might have hesitated to go outside. My God! Ooh! Here it is! Maria found her rose with the gold lace and stared at it lovingly. Rosa had accepted the promise under the condition that Maria would only get one look at it, but she didn't want Maria to complain that it hadn't been enough later on, so she decided to go along with Maria until she was satisfied. She believed that there wasn't a culprit, but on the off chance that she was mistaken, they were now in an extremely dangerous position. Rosa realized that faintly herself. I mean, why doesn't she take her to one of the many other 5 million rooms in the guest house, sit with Maria for a while, try to calm her down, and when she's having the tantrum and stuff, it's like just I don't know how to parent, but surely just letting her tantrum and stuff, letting her express her frustration, but understand that having a tantrum is not necessarily going to get you your way. I mean, maybe she has autism, it might be a little difficult to teach, but... And then, because eventually she'll tire herself out. She can't scream forever. Yes, it's very annoying, and oh no, the people will hear my poor pride as a mother, oh no. But, you know, eventually she would fall asleep. She'd be tired. It's fucking exhausting having a tantrum. Surely. And once she learns that having a tantrum won't get her what she wants, then maybe she'll stop doing it. I don't know if that's how it works. I mean, that's what I do with Naru. Rosa realized that fainting herself. When things got bad, she would throw away her umbrella and ready her gun. After glancing at Maria's innocent happiness, Rosa gazed warily in all directions. It's probably full of CBD oil. What the hell is CBD oil? Like castor oil? Oh, here we go. Butterfly time. Speaking of butterflies, so I recently planted some veggies in the garden, right? I'm thinking of getting some, like, growing some swan plants so that I can have little fat monarch caterpillars, and then they can grow into monarch butterflies, and then I have monarch butterflies. Ooh, and it will be glorious. I love living in a place that has a garden. So many options. Were her eyes just tired? Even though no one should have been there, she thought she saw something glitter in the dark rose garden. Gold-coloured? It had to be her imagination. Because to Rosa it seemed as though gold butterflies were dancing through the rose bushes. That's the noise they make. Wait, what did I used to do when I was a kid? Was it this? That's a bird, surely. Oh, this! That's probably a bird. Are you okay, Eva? Just take it easy. Should I call Dr. Nanjo after all? Should I call Dr. Nanjo after all? What is his voice? I forgot. I'm fine. Don't take your hand away. I'm begging you. Don't take your hand away. It's so awkward. Can you stop? Eva was breathing wildly. Beads of sweat were appearing on her forehead. Suddenly this is an erotic novel. Growing a plant to attract bugs? That's a thing. It is. Yep. It is a thing. Because monarch butterflies are good. And then they eat the swan plant. Om nom nom nom. I mean, well, not the butterflies, but the caterpillars eat them. I used to grow them when I was little, and then they go into their little chrysalises under the leaves and stuff. Wait, did I talk about this? Just had deja vu talking about the chrysalises. They are cute, especially monarch ones. They're all black and yellow, and they're like huge and fat. And they don't tickle when you put them on your hand to get them to crawl along. Unlike the green ones that go like this. Oh, I used to hate those because they'd like go up your finger and it would tickle and stuff. And I was little, I used to hate the green inch ones. Anyway, let's. But then sometimes you'd like maybe accidentally squish a caterpillar and it was a sad time, and then all the green oozed out and it was bad. It certainly was true that she had stayed up all night last night and that things had been rough since early this morning. It wasn't odd that her body wasn't keeping up. Even though he understood that, Hideyoshi suspected that this sudden fever was a sign of some serious illness. Several times Hideyoshi decided to call for Dr. Nanjo, but Eva resisted. You know how they say that all kids like do terrible things to bugs when they're little because they don't understand empathy and stuff? I didn't. Nope, I didn't. Cankerworm. Around here there are just a lot of cankerworms. And they're kind of cute but also kind of nasty. What is a cankerworm? I have to Google this now. Any day Chrome wants to open, thanks. Canker worm. Oh yeah, yeah. Those are the greeny inchworms that caterpillars I was talking about. Yeah. Yeah, and I think they turn into white butterflies. Maybe? Yeah. I mean, they're really cute. They're like, oh, they're really cute, but they tickle, so I didn't used to like them. Actually, I did used to poke snail eyes, now that I think of that. Okay, never mind. Oh, and I used to squash ants. Yeah, that's right. I used to eat ants, actually. When I was, like, 4. Okay, fine. We're all psychopaths and we're kids. Several times... Because you have like a snail that's like this, and you go boop, and it goes, and it goes. Look, it wasn't. I mean, I didn't decide to do it. It was my friends. My friends were psychopaths, not me, except for the ant thing. I did that on me because we had ants in the house, and they would like crawl past my bed, and I go. So I know what ants taste like. Yeah, it's hard to explain though. It's hard to describe. Not that I'd eat them now. Assuming they do taste how I remember them tasting. Anyway, several times Hideyoshi decided to call for... I feel bad now because ants are so amazing and intelligent, and like they have these big colonies and everything, and they're just trying to find food and... Yeah. Anyway. Several times Hideyoshi tried to call for Dr. Nanjo, but Eva resisted firmly, pleading with him and saying that it was even more important that he didn't take his hand away. Oh my god, that's terrible! That is so much worse than poking snail eyes. At least I didn't rip them off or something. Oh my god, that's terrible! Only the streamer click. That's shame on you. Shame. More shame. Oh, that's terrible! Anyway, pleading with him and saying that it was even more important that he didn't take his hand away. Oh god. That's like when people pour salt on slugs. No. As annoying as it is for slugs to eat your vegetables and stuff, they're necessary to keep the ecosystem healthy. They break down the shit in the soil and make the soil nice and fertile and stuff. So killing slugs is dumb. I think doing something to, like something else, to get them to go away, not to kill them, but just to deter them, is better. Anyway. Plus, slug bait and stuff is really bad for animals. And so. I understand, but you've got to have you've got to have Dr. Nanjo. You've got to have Dr. Nanjo look at you by lunchtime. If you can promise me that, I'll stay here the whole time, gripping your hand tightly, like this. Thank you. I'm fine. The magic of your hand will definitely take this fever away. Don't pour salt on slugs. It's mean. For shame. Brave fencer. The magic of your hand will definitely... Oh, wait, yes. Even as she said that, Eva's harsh breathing didn't improve in the slightest. Just put eggshells around your crops. Yep. Or just accept that you have given them some lunch. Or have a compost heap and then draw them to that. Can we go to the next? I mean, the rain is glorious and all. Oh, I have Discord open? Let me close that. That's good. Good job. Can we like... There we go. Oh, okay. I don't need to read. Oh, I don't need to read this. Don't let go. Don't let go. Oh my god! What am I doing? What did I just read? What? Is that why there was a long period of darkness, of nothing? Because the... Who is it? Oh, it's her. She saw an umbrella moving from beyond the rose bush while Eva was having sex with Hideyoshi. Rosa threw away her umbrella and wildly lifted her gun. When she did, the shadow of a person beyond the bush showed itself. Oh yeah, wasps can go die in a hole, yeah. They're so mean to bees. They're mean. There are these... I can't remember what they are. There's some kind of wasp or locust or something that will, like, go into a bee thing, and then like lay its eggs or whatever, and then fly away or die or something. And then the little babies will be brought up and they'll kill the other. It's terrible. It's very Elizabethan and it's terrible. For sure. And they're like all these birds. Like it's not just cuckoos, but they're like all these birds that like put their bird eggs into other bird nests, and then the new bird kills all the other little baby birds, and it's so terrible. Can you just raise your own fucking children? It's not that hard, surely. If other birds can do it, you can do it. Makes me so mad. Oh, nature is cruel. It is cruel. Aunt Eva. Aunt Eva? Aunt Eva? Oh. What? Why is Eva there now? Did she orgasm all the way outside the house? You scared me. It's you, Nasson? Do you have some business with me? Do you want to continue our earlier discussion? Yes. That's right. Our discussion about Father's gold. You look very pleased with yourself. Please restrain yourself in front of Maria. I will keep my promise, okay? I won't get in the way of your conspiracy. Conspiracy? What's that? Whatever you're thinking, that's up to you. Look at her face! I have no desire to get in the way. So please, not in front of Maria. As long as I get my share, that would be enough. I'm gonna stream, Zictor. She was brought to completion. Oh my god. What is this? What are you laughing about? I'm gonna stream The Dog in the Fog. After years, yes. After years. I don't know. Who did hate the term to completion? I don't think that was me. Was it? I don't think it was me. Your share? Oh, okay. That's not Eva at all. Eva started laughing in a creepy voice. Rosa was startled, but Maria stared blankly. Then Maria said just one thing. Love. Oh, okay. Ooh, that's what she said. That's what she said. Ooh, Auntie, who are you? Your share? Who would give that to you? All of that is mine. It all belongs to me, the Golden Witch Beatrice. Oh, a little girl. Oh! Eva, are you okay? Eva? I mean, you should know. You okay. I'm sure she's fine. I'm sure she's just fine. Eva! Eva! Hold on. Don't let go. It's so awkward. Why? Don't let me be dragged away by someone who isn't me. Hold on to my hand. Don't let go. Oh, it's her. When did you ever work hard? You never worked hard for anything. You were always hiding in our shadows. You always escaped from shadow to shadow without fighting, and yet you really think yourself qualified to make demands of me over the Ushurimiya family gold? All of that is mine. It's all mine. I mean, it's all mine alone as the head of the Ushurimiya family and the new Golden Witch successor to the name of Beatrice. Beatrice. It's Beatrice! Mama, Beatrice! Maria jumped at her mother. Maria jumped to her mother in ecstasy. Rosa treated Maria cold-heartedly and raised her gun high because she's a fucking horrible person. Hey, you're Nair-san, right? You are Nair-san, aren't you? Wrong. I am no longer the one who was your sister. Then who are you? Are you trying to say that you're Beatrice? That's impossible. You died 19 years ago. Yes, you were definitely dead. You were definitely dead. After all, I clearly saw how your head was split open. I can remember the insides flowing out like it was yesterday. How can you be alive in here right now? The concept of death does not exist to a Golden Witch. The Golden Witch in the name of Beatrice will be handed down for all eternity. Maybe the Beatrice you knew met with death, but that name is mine now. And therefore, it's eternal. The concept of death does not exist for Beatrice. I haven't played this game, but bet you everyone dies. All I can see is that the gold has driven you mad. How pitiful, nay, son. Come on. Oh, no, wait, that was her. That's her voice. Come on, you know I'm not your sister anymore. Well then, as the new Beatrice, I have been tasked with my own resurrection ceremony. Ronave, what should I do? That is up to you. You already have the power to make whatever you think reality. You should grow used to it once you've tried it out a little. You worthless former sister. You should consider it an honor to have been selected as the first sacrifice I offer as a witch. On the second twilight, I'll tear the two who were close apart with my own hands. They're not very close, though. The first thing the new Beatrice wished for, no, the first magic she tried to use, was to surpass the limitations given to humans. In particular, gravity. Oh, so it's Naru. She wanted to become fully aware of her transformation into a witch by being released from those shackles. As the witch and Rosa stayed as they were, the ground retreated all by itself into the distance below them, and it was fucking horrifying. By now, their feet were no longer attached to the ground. Is the music too loud? Or is it okay? Rosa finally realized that the earth wasn't retreating into the distance below them, but that she and the witch were being sucked up into the rainy sky. Huh? Eh? Whoa! Awesome! Look at her face! For a human shackled to the ground by gravity, there is nothing more unnerving than having their feet stop sticking to the ground. However, to Beatrice, who, in becoming the new witch, had learned the joy of being released from gravity, it was enough to make her whole body shake with delight. I wonder how we would have evolved if the gravity had been slightly different on Earth, like lighter or denser. Because the things that grew on the planet would have probably had different bone density and stuff, right? So, that's something to think about. Hey Rosa, do you remember long ago when we were small, when we used to talk about what it would be like to become witches and flying around in the sky? That dream has been granted, hasn't it? I became a real witch and granted it for you. Stop it. If this is a dream, then wake me up. You said it yourself. You said you flew through the sky in your dream. And you also said you didn't want to wake up. You even got mad at me when I woke you up, right? Don't worry. This time you won't wake up, okay? Come, dance with me in the vast rainy sky. Didn't we both wish we could fly like seagulls in the sky and escape the cramped and boring island of Rockenzima? Now I'll make that dream a reality for you. I only want to share this joy with you. I only want to share this joy with you and no one else. Ah! There's a creature in here. It's so fun, Rosa. It's so fun. Take a look below you. Look at how small our mansion is. I wonder how much time we spent in a place that small. Now I'm especially shocked at how cramped and tiny it is. So feel, enjoy, rejoice. That power we yearn for, the power to move through the sky at will. Come on, let's dance, Rosa. Through the rain, through the wind. That would be amazing. Let's fly around like we're dancing. The lightning will shine on us and bless us. I bet she's gonna drop her and she's gonna land on the ground. The witch and Rosa were like leaves fluttering around. Oh no, that's not good. No. Being a leaf on the wind is a bad thing. We're like leaves fluttering around in a whirlwind. Oh dear. As the rain pounded upon every part of their bodies, as the lightning occasionally shone upon them, they shook with the joy of being released from the ground. Crispy Canadian bacon. Sure. However, it was only that way for the witch. Rosa was holding onto her head, voicelessly screaming over and over. You said voicelessly. This isn't voicelessly. Stop it! Forgive me! Let me down! You're right. It's more fitting for humans to crawl on the ground. Then why not go back there? A slightly displeased expression rose to the witch's face when she realized that her own joy was not being shared. Then she decided to listen to her former sister's request. Oh, rip. Huh? Oh! The whirlwind that had been making Rosa dance around grew weaker, then stopped. In other words, Rosa was once again bound by the restrictions of gravity as a human. Following the laws that were originally correct, Rosa began to descend towards the ground, upside down. No, she began to fall. Oops. That's right. If I didn't take her down the right way, this is what happens. The witch hadn't intended to send Rosa plummeting, but she still wasn't used to using magic. Oh, rip. This is even more disturbing than usual. Because usually when you see the blood spatter, it's like, they didn't, you know, like, they don't... With all the past murders or deaths or whatever, like, it's just been something like they've been impaled or something. So it's like having a big blood spatter on the ground is not quite so representative of what they actually... Anyway, but in this case, it's a bit more disturbing. Yeah, the laughter's pretty good. After plummeting around 100 meters into a rose bush, as a very, very natural result, Rosa died instantly. Thank God that it was instant. I don't feel that sorry for her. I mean, maybe if she wasn't such a dick, we wouldn't have this problem. But the witch hadn't intended to kill her, so she wished that Rosa hadn't died. Oh, you're bringing her back to life? When she did, gold butterflies coiled around Rosa's body, reviving that life just as the witch had wished. Oh. Rosa's body, which should have been spread out like a carpet of fresh blood, rapidly returned to normal. The broken and crushed bones returned to normal. The torn and... I don't need to read this. It makes me feel sick. The torn and smashed flesh returned to normal. How easy it is to break things in this world, and how difficult it is to fix them. Anyone can take a life. Don't say that. No, you stop that. Stop it. But no human can revive a lost life. Maybe a doctor can. A surgeon? Maybe? Huh? By surpassing the irreversible, one proves that they had surpassed, depending on how long they've been dead for, one proves that they had surpassed humanity. Apparently, I didn't foresee that, because so far I don't think this has happened. This surely gave her a much, much greater realization of her position as a witch. It's weird. Feels like I have an ulcer, but I can't find it. Anyway, this surely gave her a much, much greater realization of her position. Sorry, you didn't need to know about this. It surely gave her a much, much greater realization of her position as a witch than flying through the sky had. Awesome! Because I bit my... I failed to chew properly and bit the inside of my mouth. It's great. Awesome! I can even revive an ended life. Of course. Beatrice Summers, the Endless Witch. That's right. I remember now. In the last episode, she was like promoted or whatever. Beatrice Summers, the Endless Witch. To live and to die. To bring to life and to kill. All of it is repeated endlessly. Beatrice Summers, the Endless Witch, is the queen who controls the cycle of life and death. One time I knocked over a fishbowl. The fragile and beautiful bowl broke and I couldn't put it back together again. I'd never see that cute pop-eyed goldfish swim again after it landed on the floor. Why not put it into a cup of water, you monster? Awesome. No matter how much I cried, the servants shook their heads, saying that broken things and dead things could never be revived. I mean, how long was it not in the water for? I don't know how long fish can survive, actually, out of water. That's when I learned something. You must not break things. You must not kill people. After all, you can't fix them. That's not really the reason, but okay. So if you can't fix them, then you won't get in trouble for breaking them, right? Oh, so if you can fix them. Ah, awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Ooh. Ooh. I can't do that laugh, it's really hard. For a while, the witch became intoxicated with how terrible and wonderful the power she inherited was. Her laugh was pure, innocent, and cruel. How can it be innocent and cruel? Ooh, oh no, that's not Maria. Ooh, oh. Even though Rosa had been revived, she let out a cry of, this is not a cry. Ooh, that's a cry. This is not, I need an exclamation mark here, please. Out a cry of anguish at the pain from her fall. At that point, the witch landed and held out her hand. Sorry about that, Rosa. I didn't think flying in the sky would be so much fun. Sorry, I'm real sorry. And I didn't know humans could die so easily. But I brought you back to life, so we're even. So get up, okay? Play with me some more, okay? What were those dreams you told me about when you were a kid? Go ahead and tell me all of them without holding back. As I am now, I can make anything come true, no matter how absurd. Even drowning you in a sea of jelly. Even having you get sucked into a mountain of cake. I can even make you sprout butterfly wings and flit around the garden, okay? I'll do them one after another. Let's start with the ocean of jelly, alright? What the fuck? Stop it. Rosa was once again thrown high into the rainy sky. However, the sky wasn't filled with raindrops, but with drops of orange juice. When she looked down, Rosa had to doubt her eyes. The rose garden had disappeared, and the ground spread out beneath her like a pastel-colored jigsaw puzzle. What is happening? It was an ocean of jelly, like the one she had spoken of from her dreams when she was young. The black part was coffee jelly. Sure. The red was strawberry. The yellow was... This isn't yellow, this is green, but okay. The yellow was pineapple. And the green was... Oh, that's a nice looking green. The green was melon. What was the white part? Apple? Did Rosa even have the time to think stuff like that? Rosa fell towards that multicolored ocean. And she sunk deep into a purple grape-flavored sea. Grape. Nom nom. Oh, this is a cool image. It really was an ocean of jelly. It had no bottom. As Rosa sank, she was shocked to see a school of transparent fish swimming through the grape jelly. This is what it's like to fall into a black hole. Oh no, this is what it's like to fall into a gas giant. It probably doesn't taste as good. Although maybe it does. They were probably made of grape skin. Ew! I don't need to know this. And she sunk on, deeper and deeper, as deep as the Marianas Trench. I don't understand people who, peel grapes. I don't understand why that's a thing. Why is that a thing? Half the fun of eating a grape is how it, like, pops in your mouth. Like, people are dumb. Sorry, you can peel grapes if you want. If you want to spend time in your life peeling a grape, then fine. But I think it's dumb. Anyway, crushed by the water pressure of the jelly ocean as her ribs snapped, as her spine snapped. She is falling into a gas giant. Rip. Rip-a-doodle. In the end, she became a small, frail meatball. That's a really gross way to put that. I am such a wonderful person. What a truly wonderful experience to drown in an ocean of jelly. It's a dream no one else can imitate. I made it come true for you. Yeah. It's good music though. The instant I snapped my fingers, the meatball that had been Rosa was launched up into the sky. This is so terrible. Well, she was terrible to Maria though. It's actually quite a stress relief after such stress. My psychopath! And after being wrapped up in a golden sparkle, she returned to her original form. It was as simple and easy as returning dried seaweed to its original form, and anyone could do it. If they were a witch. Can't you just rehydrate dried seaweed? Isn't that how drying things works? No? Okay. Actually, maybe not. Because I guess if you have a plum that's dried, if you rehydrate it, it's just like a soggy... Yeah, I guess that's true. If they were a witch, or a scientist. The absent-minded look on Rosa's face has to be the joy from having that dream she gave up on as a child come true. That she gave up on. Oh, I'll never be able to swim in a sea of jelly. Oh, my childhood innocence is gone. Why is she an old lady? I don't know. She gave up on a child came true. Definitely. Probably. Wait. The absent-minded look on her face is joy? Okay. Next is the mountain of cake. In an instant, the sky was covered. Oh, this is going to be gross. In an instant, the sky was covered and became black and white in the shape of a chessboard. That almost transparent white part was her favourite rare cheesecake. The elegant black part was the slightly bitter gâteau au chocolat. That became the ceiling, became a mountain, and several billion cakes were thrown down towards... That's not cake, that's cakes. But okay. If you piled those cakes up, they would surely be taller than Mount Everest. Something I never understood in movies, especially American movies, like aimed at kids. Kids have food fights, right? And they're like, oh, this is so fun. Food fighting is the best. First of all, food fighting, wouldn't that be kind of painful? Second of all, like, the cleanup. I mean, I guess kids don't have to give a shit about cleanup, but even cleaning up themselves, like having a shower covered in cake and stuff. Ew, it's so gross. Why is that a thing? Ugh. I would be so mad if my kids had a food fight. I would be like, you're fucking washing off with the hose outside, and you're not eating for a week, because how dare you waste food that I made or bought or something, and just, I don't understand why it's like, oh, let's have a food fight. It's so fun. I don't understand it. Now, a mud fight, or a sand fight, or, you know, like when you're at the beach and you're throwing like wet sand, that's one thing. That's different. Anyway, kids are dumb. Kids in movies are dumb. So they probably weighed... I'm not too sure, but I'll bet it was heavier than all the cakes across Japan put together. Now, I used to have highlighter fights when I was a teenager. Because when I was like 13 or 14. Me and my friend would sit in math class at the back and just like attack each other with highlighters, and then like try to be like all normal when the teacher was looking. I'm sure we were totally... He probably saw what we were doing. It's really easy to see what people are doing when you're a teacher. Probably just ignored us. It was great. We were great. Anyway, I bet it was heavy. I'm really sorry to that teacher whose name I don't remember anymore. But I bet it was heavier than all the cakes across Japan put together. Food fighting is... Yeah, I agree. Yep. I agree. It fell down like a ceiling and swallowed Rosa up. So it was a very, very natural result. Rosa was crushed to death. In less than a second... In less than a second? Oh, because it's like... Boom! Okay. Her bones broke throughout her body, and her insides were all smashed and smashed and forced out. Squish, pop, slop, just like those caterpillars used to torture her. On the stream, Ricky Maru. Yes, it is. Basically, it's a visual novel. So it's wait, visual or virtual? Visual novel, right? So it's I'm basically reading you a book with music. There's also voice acting, but I turned that off to do my own, so that I have things to say. Yeah. Oh, there are images and stuff too. It's just at the this because we're going through a lot of stuff that's I had no sense in or something, so it's not showing much at the moment. Even so, an even greater number of cakes piled up. It just lets your imagination do it, which in a way is worse. And Rosa ended up as a layer of jam wedged between them. She became as thin as a single hair and was... That is very thin. Ooh, is that what happens when you get crushed by buildings and stuff? And was probably spread out over the area of a tennis court. This game does a very good job of creating horrific imagery without actually... Like, the words themselves are not horrific, but when you put them together it is. Like... It's interesting. It's good. Yeah. Yeah. Because it could have been like, the blood was oozing, and there was red, and the smelt like blah blah, and it was all, you know, like all this description, but instead it's just like, she was as thin and spread out like a tennis court. But that's also horrific. But, yeah, it was good. Anyway, the world swallowed up by cake was once again absorbed by a gold flash. Is Maria just watching, going like, ooh? Then, as though it had all been a dream, Rosa was revived. Once again. Of course it definitely wasn't a dream. She had been revived after dying. Yeah, our minds make it work. Yeah. They sure do. It's late night here. Who else could read me a good night story better than Noct? Indeed. She had been revived after dying. By that point, death, which most humans only have to experience once after they're born, had already been experienced repeatedly by Rosa. In other words, she had gone through that which... I thought this is hummus. I think I have a problem. That which humans cannot... I mean, that... What? In other words, she gone through that which humans cannot. Why is this so hard to read? She had gone through that to which humans could not... Whatever. The precious experience of dying more than once. Oh! Cute! Isn't this fun, Rosa? Isn't it fun? This fun? Next, the butterflies. Look! Please, have mercy. Oh! Yeah, because to be turned into a butterfly would be so much worse than these other things. No way! Let's play more. Let's play more. Kya! Laughing. Is this really what she looks like after all that? She's just like... just mildly annoyed. Laughing innocently, she pointed her gold staff at Rosa as she begged for mercy. When she did, Rosa glittered gold and rapidly began to shrink. And then she was a beautiful butterfly. She shrank down to the size of a real butterfly. Then gold wings sprouted from her back, and she joined her fellow gold butterflies. Is that what all the gold butterflies are? Are they people? However, while a human body could withstand that wind, it was a different matter for a butterfly's body. The gold butterfly Rosa was invited to dance by each gale of wind, and she spun in circles around the rose garden. No! Yes, because dancing is the worst. Rosa doesn't want to dance because she doesn't like to do nice things, only hit her child. Ah! As her dance wore her out, she was caught by a gentle bed. It was a soft knit hammock in the shadows beneath the roof of the arbor. Oh, there's the scary sound! The scary fuel scoop sound. The owner of that hammock lumbered into view, welcoming an rare guest who had wandered in on the night of the storm. Two chickens turned into butterflies. The owner of that hammock lumbered into view, welcoming its rare guest who had wandered in on the night of the storm. Oh no! Okay, I guess this is also a bad fate. That owner, which should have been small enough to crush in the palm of your hand, now looked as big as the top of a canopy bed to Rosa. Ah! Rip. Rip, 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 rip. Yeah. What a klutz. You got caught in a spider's web. This time it's a dance with a spider. That takes me back. Remember the times we'd find a spider's web and play around by throwing pebbles at it? Rude? That's somebody's home and their way of finding food. They keep all the nasty bugs out. For shame. For shame. I'd heard that spiders don't chew their prey, but insert their venom, and when the insides melt into a sticky soup, they suck them out. Is that how it works? I know they wrap them in things. That's nasty. I like spiders, but that's nasty. Hey, Rosa, remember? Remember how we'd throw butterflies into... Why? Why butterflies of all things? You know they help to pollinate the things and they grow the thing. This game makes me... I have no sympathy for Rosa right now. Rude! I know. Remember how we throw butterflies into the spider's web on purpose and play around by seeing how the spider would attack? I guess you don't remember, do you? This happened before you got into grade school. Make sure you watch closely this time, okay? This is so terrible. Very closely. Yeah! No! Have mercy, Nasan! Help me, Nasan! God! What is this sound? Well, I feel like somebody should poke me in the eyes after what I did to those snails when I was little. It's okay. I poke myself in the eye all the time, so every time I try to do my mascara, I poke myself in the eyes. This girl's not bad. She truly can use magic at will. Woo! Actually, that's more like it's such an ugly laugh. Amusing. How truly amusing. You feel like laughing too, right, Battler? Oh my god, why is he crying? Imagine throwing a chicken into a spider's web. Stop that. Don't fuck with me. Stop it already. What's so fun? You're insane. Yeah, but your auntie is also fucking insane. What's so fun about doing something like this? Doesn't she look like she's having a blast? What do you expect? Magic is fun. I remember when I first became able to use magic, I played around a lot. Ah, I understand that kind of game. From the bottom of my heart. Are you rhyming? What's happening? Looks like I won't be able to share this joy and passion with you, Battler. What a shame. If you accept me, I'll teach you magic anytime you want, see? It's hard to describe the joy you receive in the instant you're freed from the shackles of humanity. Is she a Q? Is that what's happening? I want to teach you about it, that joy, that passion. I'll definitely like to see the world of magic you'd give birth to just once. Gee, yeah! I promise I'll start with the chicken butterfly buns. For now. Isn't this starting to get fun? You started wanting to use magic, haven't you? I still haven't seen that episode, shame on me. It's pretty fun to be a witch, isn't it? Just for you, I'll teach everything. About the joy of flying together in the sky, about the joy of diving together through the sea. I want to show you the passion that starts the instant you surpass the bounds of humans and see how wide your world stretches. Wouldn't that be fun? I mean, not because that's a lame laugh. There was no malice in Beata's expression. It was hard to believe that she was genuinely enjoying this cruel show. And she wanted to share that appreciation with Battler, because she's fucking insane. Battler was shocked by that hopelessly different sense of values. Yeah, I know, that's what I said. You're insane! Stop it already. Damn it! Virgilia, make them stop this insane farce. What should I do? We exist outside the board. We cannot touch the board itself. Virgilia shook her head apologetically. Her body had already been killed. Did that mean she couldn't interfere in any way? As Beatrice continued to look amused in an insane sort of way, Battler lifted her up by the collar and yelled at her. By the collar? Like on her dress, or like, is he like choking her? Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Quit messing around, witch! Are you trying to tell me that that's Aunt Eva? That's impossible! The Aunt Eva I know might be a bit mean at times, but it's completely impossible that she's the kind of person who'd do something this cruel. This is all part of your deception. Don't toy with Aunt Rosa. Don't toy with Aunt Eva. Stop this farce right now! No! I told you, I'm not the one playing with Rosa anymore. Like I said, that's the new Beatrice. Is it really so terrible that you have to squeal like that? You're also pretty fond of stuff like this, aren't you? You actually have just a bit of interest in magic. And... Ouch! What are you doing? For the first time, Battler slapped Beata's cheek. Beatrice didn't know why he had done something like that to her, and a surprised expression rose to her face. Welcome to the stream, Adam Daniels. Does anybody laugh normally in this world? No. Pretty much not. Actually. Yep. Oh, no, sometimes they giggle. Sometimes they giggle. That's okay. Usually in the wrong situation, though. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Beatrice didn't, yes. Battler, especially, couldn't forget that expression, and he roared. Ah! Why is there a question mark? You call this amusing? What's wrong with your head? Die! Go slice your head to bits and look inside. You'll see there's nothing there. Stop it right now. Stop this disgusting fart. Why is he winking? I won't forgive you. How could you do something so cruel? I'm a pirate. I've sometimes thought you could be a bit funny, but I'll never make the mistake again. You're just a monster who's cruel on all levels. Don't show yourself in front of me. Never again. I won't accept you. I won't talk with you. I won't even want to look at your face. Did you hear me? Sorry, I kind of ran out of steam. Don't show yourself in front of me. Disappear! Sudden Battler banner. I know. So much text. Look at it all. Am I covering it? Sorry, I'm covering it a little bit. The instant Battler screamed, the power that resisted the witch became a red wall and knocked Beatle back onto her butt. There's so much horrible stuff in this game, and you have to use the word butt. You can't say ass, bum, bottom. You just say butt. Okay. Oh. What is this voice? Why is that her voice? Oh. What are you talking about? Isn't it an interesting show? She spoke defensively, but the target of those words, Battler, was no longer there. His figure had suddenly disappeared into the darkness. But Beatrice looked displeased and continued trying to explain herself. It's not as though I'm completely blind to where you're coming from. This is nothing more than an innocent prank, isn't it? No matter how you kill them, they'll always be brought back to life in the end, right? I thought humans were creatures who say all's well that ends well. Within reason. And not really. We only say that to make ourselves feel better, Beatrice. Hey, teacher. There was no reason for him to get so angry, right? She was hoping for approval, but Virgilia simply faced her with an indifferent expression. to Beato at that moment. Even an exasperated look would probably have been better. I have nothing in particular to say. If you think this is fun, you can keep watching as long as you want. Call me when it's over. I will vanish until then. Following Battler's lead, Virgilia vanished into the darkness. Beato, who was now completely isolated and didn't have a clue what was going on, felt that they... Yeah, well, me and you both. You and me both. Felt that they were making her out to be the bad guy. Oh, poor bitches. Sorry, I didn't mean to keep putting the cursor on your boobs. My bad. What's wrong? Isn't it an amusing show? It might be a little vulgar, but it's quite interesting, isn't it? Hey, Ronave? There's something to get so mad about, right? Cool. Something interesting for you, milady, may not necessarily be interesting for Battler Summer. Does he really hate me that much? Well, certainly we're enemies and opponents in this competition, but is our relationship really so bad that we can't laugh together at this display? Since I applauded together with Battler, I thought I could at least laugh together with him. Oh, I remember what the applauding was. It was applauding Eva, whatever, becoming the next Beatrice. That's right, like at this coronation or whatever it was. Does he really reject me so much that we can't even do that? He doesn't have to accept that I'm a witch. We're challenging each other in this game, after all. And yet, he won't look at my face, he won't talk to me. And he'll probably do all he can to ignore me. Oh, look, she's crying. Am I really hated that much? Much? The more you've made up to this point, what? The moves you've made up to this point have been more than enough to earn his hatred. Even a demon such as myself can understand a bit of Battler Summer's feelings. Perhaps you cannot understand because you are especially thick-headed, my lady. That moment when you have to do a dramatic finger-pointing moment, but a fly flies into your eye. Oh, fuck. I'm not going to stop. No, nothing is ever easy in this land. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up! Why don't you disappear too? Yes, certainly. Then, if you would excuse me. Even Ronove hid himself in the darkness, and Beatrice was left alone. The only one in the rainy rose garden. No one ever plays with a lonely witch, except Maria, who's probably still there. She's probably also enjoying the show. And the fact that no one ever does is what makes them a lonely witch. Well, maybe you shouldn't be a witch and we have this problem. What's going on? Why won't anyone play with me? Am I really that weird? That cruel? Someone answer me. Ooh. Am I right? No. Isn't this fun, Rosa? Isn't this fun? Hey, how should we play next? Of course we should play with Maria too, right? Oh, rip. Let's all have a friendly walk together, okay? Let's swim in a pot of boiling chocolate. Let's have a picnic in a cake-rising oven. Ah! Wow, you're doing it. Okay, now you're going too far. Hey, new Beatrice. Behind the witch that was continuing her mad banquet, Beato showed herself. That expression was very rare for her. It was somehow restrained, unreliable, miserable. Oh, it's the predecessor Beatrice, Summer. Were you watching? The power of magic is truly wonderful. Until now, I never thought it'd be so fun to be reborn as a witch. It's like playtime that never ends. Come on, let's play together, predecessor Summer. But first, wait for a second, okay? I cooked the two of them to death in an oven, so I have to revive them again. You did cook! Oh my god. They're like bread rising from yeast. Like cookies expanding in an oven. Listen to what I'm saying. Well, isn't that enough for the sacrifice of the second twilight? Of course there are no rules regarding how you kill them, but, And maybe you shouldn't toy with them anymore like that. Any more than that. What are you saying? Predecessor Summer? I heard from Ronave a short while ago. Wasn't your magic much more powerful, cruel, and crazy? That Halloween party when candies poured out of 6 people's stomachs was truly wonderful. So maybe I'll act out Alice's tea party. I'll invite everyone to a tea party in celebration of a completely pointless day and entertain them one by one with my magic. I wonder if I can do it as wonderfully as you. I wonder if... Oh, God. I wonder if I can be calm. I wonder if I can be cruel in my own pop-cute style. Now that I think... God, her face. Now that I think about it, all fairy tales are cruel, aren't they? Now that I'm a witch inside one of those fairy tales, I finally understand. I have also, Oh, it's her. I have also sometimes thought that in the past I might have gone a little too far. Well, I think that as the Golden Witch it's probably best to show a little elegance. Huh? I don't get what you're saying, Predecessor Summer. But there's one thing I do understand. No matter how hard I try now, I'm no match for how cruel you are. I've got to try much, much harder. I've got to become more cruel and become an excellent Golden Witch. But, like I said, you've already done enough here. Anyway, this is an order from me as your predecessor. And that's enough for the second twilight. I'll show you how it's done. Stand back and watch. I'll show you how it's done. Yes, Predecessor Summer. I can't wait to see what brutal, cruel, and disgusting method of killing you use. The new witch grasped the sides of her skirt and gave a graceful bow, stepping back as an expectant gaze rose to her face. She made a Sonic face. She was expecting an even more cruel magic that surpassed even herself. Is this like the new Sonic? Well, speaking of that, you're only half a witch if you can only kill with methods like that. I shall show you an elegant way to kill, worthy of the Golden Witch. The music is so nice. And Beata waved her pipe. 7 colours of smoke poured out, reviving Rosa and Maria. Compared to how the new Beatrice had done it a short while ago, it was slightly gentler. It was probably gentler than how Beata had done it herself up until now. Rosa's consciousness had already grown dim from the pain of so many repeated deaths, but even so, she pleaded that her daughter be spared. Well, she finally did something good for once. Please, have mercy. Even if it's just Maria, have mercy. Ah, Mama! Sorry, my disciple just acted without restraint for a bit. Forgive me. But Beatrice! When Maria realized it was the real Beatrice, she jumped onto her. You promised, right, Beato? You promised you'd take me to the Golden Land, right? There, I'll be friendly with Mama, and everyone will laugh together. You promised you'd take me there, right? About that. I can no longer keep that promise, because someone appeared who could solve the riddle. I'm no longer the Golden Witch, Beatrice. I am no longer the Golden Witch, Beatrice. So... sorry. I can no longer keep my promise with you. Why? Why? You promised. I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry. So at least in apology for not being able to keep my promise, I'll give you a quiet sleep that will never be disturbed again. Wow, that's great compromise, thanks. Beato embraced Maria with a loving expression on her face. Then, softly, a red bruise appeared on Maria's neck. It was a very gentle bruise. That's great. Golden Witch? Yes, she is the Golden Witch. Its redness grew bit by bit, and when it distinctly formed itself to the shape of a hand, Maria's neck tilted, suddenly, peacefully, as though she had fallen asleep. It's great. Maria! Maria! Sorry. I won't apologize that you were the sacrifices for the second twilight, because I'm a dick. That's simply your fate. However, I must apologize for the vulgar way in which you were offered as sacrifices. This is your final sleep. Never again will it be disturbed. Her face. Beato softly, gently lifted her finger, as though touching the empty air in front of her nose. Tap, 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 like this. Then she did. A light breeze lifted up, making Rose's body dance lightly. Stop making her dance! Like a feather. Then Rose's body floated softly, and right there was the garden fence with its spirit. This is very similar to the dancer quest in Final Fantasy XIV that I'm currently going through, and it's quite strange. Right there was the garden fence with its spear-shaped prongs. Rip. The spear of the fence pierced Rose's medulla oblongata. Okay, whatever that is. Benevolently, without toying with her, in a single blow, Rose's life was snapped out. Compared to the oblongata, is that the torso? Compared to the earlier, innocent yet cruel events, it seemed to be over much too fast. It just looked like a doll shaped like Rosa was leaning against the fence. But she had passed away. And she gets to see their bodies. So sometimes it doesn't show them. Rip. Maybe if you used the gun we would know this wrong. Well, something like that should do the trick. Beto acted proud, but the new witch wore a blank expression, almost as though this was an anticlimax. Then she said it out loud. It's kind of plain. Not at all like the predecessor summer Ronover told me about. Well, you must use magic with dignity, right? If it's too, undignified, that isn't very elegant. Even though you're lucky enough to have the magic to do wonderful things endlessly. How boring. Hey, don't complain. The path of the Golden Witch cannot be completed in a day. You are still incomplete until you finish the 10th twilight. For now, stay quiet and follow my instructions. Got it? What happened to your answer? Your answer! Sure. Very well. That will do. Well, there is still much to do for the resurrection ceremony. You still have to kill 5 people. You should do it without toying with them too much, with beauty and dignity. And with at least a little restraint. Okay? What Ronover told you about how I did it, that was a bad example. You mustn't use that as a model. Engrave that into your heart. Yes, predecessor Summer. A good answer. Ronover, the 7 stakes of purgatory, arise! Yes, milady. I, Ronover, am here. Lucifer of Pride, right here. Up until this point, I've been a little flashy, but, well, the dignity of the Golden Witch is also important. And about that. As the Ronover laughed at Beato's uncharacteristically flustered speech, he summed it up for her. Certainly. From now on, we will be careful to act in a graceful manner, suitable for the name of the Golden Witch. Even the 7 Sisters of Purgatory will reform their bad behavior up until now, and we shall espouse to perform our task in the quickest possible manner. Would that be acceptable, milady? Indeed. That's it, more or less. Everyone, take it to heart. Okay? Yes, certainly. That is all I wish to say. You may leave now. Certainly, if you would excuse me. Excuse us. Well, that's all I wanted to say. So, take care as you move forward, understand? Act with dignity and restraint, okay? Give it your all. I'll be watching over you. Acting awkwardly until the very end, Beatle left that message and immediately became a cloud of gold butterflies, hiding her form in the empty air. Maybe it'd be more accurate to say she vanished in a hurry, because she couldn't keep up the conversation. After that, all that remained was Maria's corpse, lying down and pounded by the rain. I wish I could disappear via PowerPoint transition as well. That's what it reminds me of. I've been trying to figure out what that reminds me of. That's great. Rose's corpse, propped up by the fence and staring up at the sky. And the figure of the witch. Show some restraint, you say? Her expression looked just a little bored. There was a popping sound. That was probably her clicking her tongue. Or something like that. What a boring person. Oh my god. Leaving that last sentence behind, she once again vanished into the empty air. Oh my goodness! During this transition, I'm going to go get a drink. I will be back in a moment. Ow, my leg. Oh, okay. Oh, I forgot about my headset. Oh, it is the Okay, I'm back. Ah, my leg! I have pins and needles again. Hello! Look! Hold on, let me turn around. Ooh. You're a good girl. Oh. There you go. Ooh. Did I move you? Oh, yeah. Oh, you purring? Oh, you purring? Oh. Oh, is it? Yeah. Can you see her very well? Sort of. Look. You got eye goo-boos. Okay. Fine. Have your eye goo-boos. Okay. Did I wake you up from a nap? Oh. Anyway. That is not a drink. That is a galaxy. More. Are you tired? Oh. To lie down. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Anyway. Zzz. That's how you snore and finish. Craw poo. Craw, craw, poo. Phew. Looks like she's finally calmed down. Hideyoshi wiped his own forehead. For a time, Eva had seemed to be having a very painful nightmare, but it appeared she'd finally fallen asleep. Oh, why do you have to face that way? Oh, he's so gorgeous. Yeah. Oh, she's so beautiful. Oh, there she is. Oh, she's so warm. They're so warm. Oh. Anyway, sorry, slightly distracted. As promised, he still gripped Eva's hand. He thought it might be time to let go pretty soon, but he faithfully continued to hold on. Every once in a while, his hand would get tired, and he would switch between his right and his left. But even so, as he promised, he didn't let go of her hand. Why? She's asleep. She doesn't know. At that time, there was a heavy knock. Boom, boom. Eva had finally been able to fall asleep, so Hideyoshi grimaced for just an instant. Aneki, Hideyoshi-san, sorry, is Rosa there? Oh, Rudolph's voice. Aneki, Hideyoshi-san, Rosa. What could it be? Hideyoshi headed for the door, hiding his footsteps so that he wouldn't wake Eva. It was definitely Rudolph's voice, but just in case, he opened the door without removing the chain. What is it? Something happened to Rosa-san? We can't find Rosa or Maria-chan. I thought they might be with you. I heard her scolding Maria-chan in the corridor. They got quiet after that, so I thought they'd gone back to the lobby, but did they? That idiot. Rudolph clicked his tongue. Other people could be seen in the corridor. Rosa hadn't returned for a while. It's really weird seeing him alive for so long. Rosa hadn't returned for a while after going out into the corridor, so they'd begun to worry. Near the front door, Natsuhi pointed at the unset chain. The chain isn't set. They must have gone outside to see that rose after all. How extraordinarily careless to go out and leave the door unlocked. What a troublesome person. Shut up, Trump. I'm more worried about Rosa-san and Maria-chan themselves. Right. Hey, brats. Where was this Rose of Maria's? I'm pretty sure it was in... Where is Battler during all this? I'm pretty sure it was in the flower bed right in the middle of the rose garden. If that's where they are, we should be able to spot them pretty quickly if we go. Oh, there he is. Dad, shouldn't we bring them back here as soon as we can? Of course. Look at his face. Bella's face. Of course. We'll bring them back and give them a good spanking. I'll dash out there and come back. Lock the door as soon as I go out. Dad, I'll go with you. Don't be stupid. It's obviously a brat's job to watch over the house with Mama. Are you purring? You're so loud. What is it? Did something happen? Sorry, did I wake you up? It seems Rosa-san took Maria-chan outside. How reckless of her. Rosa and Maria-chan are outside? In the rose garden? That's right. Oh, did you hear? Maria-chan was causing a ruckus because she wanted to see this rose. They mustn't go to the rose garden. Tell Rosa to stop. There's no telling her to stop now. It looks like they left a while ago. Seriously, how reckless of them. That's not it. Not the rose garden. There's a witch there, and she's waiting for a sacrifice. Rosa, you mustn't go. Oh! Eva cowered again. Ooh! Eva cowered again, holding her head. Her complexion looked very bad. Sorry, am I breaking the immersion of the story? What is it? Did the fever make you dream something bad? It's a dream. Yes. In the rose garden, the witch doing that to Rosa and Maria-chan. That's right. It's a dream. It must be. Calm down. I'm here in this room, and the chain is set. The shutter's closed on the window, and we've even got a gun. This room is just like a fort. There's nothing to be afraid of. Hideyoshi bit his chest, trying to calm her. Ow. But Eva's insecure expression didn't change. Injured myself, not a... Oh, the pain. Under the covers, Eva kept praying that the grotesque nightmare she'd just had was only a dream. Ooh. Oh. Rip. Oh! In the center of the rose garden, Rudolph identified the corpses of Rosa and Maria. Now we must look at this. Actually, I want to save real quick. What is this? What's happening here? Eva Beatrice solved the riddle of the witch's epitaph and was welcomed as a new endless witch. I don't remember if I read this. I don't think so. I don't remember it looking like this. She was gifted with an aptitude for magic and is expected to grow into an extraordinary great witch. The genius of a witch often indulged in her own power during her younger days. Such are the trials only geniuses must endure, and if she proved successful, her name will surely be engraved in the history of endless witches. Ooh, she looks so good, just... Would she be able to overcome the trials that forced her predecessor to surrender? This is wrong, right? What's happening here? I think I broke it. Her corpse was found in the guest room on the second floor. I can't even... Oh, I can click on these. Okay. There we go. Oh, there's Maria. Ooh. Is this the first time Maria has died? I think it might be. Her corpse is found... No, sorry, just lie down. I'm sorry that I pet you for too long. Her corpse is found in the rose garden. The cause of her death was strangling, probably by bare hands. Circumstantial evidence makes it reasonable to assume that she was killed after Rosa. No, she was killed before Rosa. Then her blood became the red ink for the witch's oath. No, she was killed before Rosa. But okay. Where's Rosa? Here we go. Died in the rose garden with her medulla oblongata pierced. Can we explain? What is that? Oh, maybe it's the back of the neck. Pierced by the spear-shaped part of the fence. Because it's here. If Maria's death hadn't been a clear homicide, no, it may have been possible to suspect an accidental death in Rosa's case. The woman was the human sacrifice for the birth of the new witch. Hello. Clean her face. Yeah. In the center of the rose garden, Rudolph, yes. Oops. No, I didn't mean... It's an accident. Where are you going? Stay in the thing. After that, he returned to the guest house, called for help, and carried both of them. If we can trust Nanjo's examination, the cause of Rosa's death was a stab to the medulla oblongata with the pointed gate of the fence. Why is she talking? It is thought that Maria's death was due to strangling with bare hands. However, due to the devil's proof, we cannot discount a misdiagnosis. I will say it in red. Rosa and Maria died. Why do you have to always face that way? Aren't you interested in the game? Rosa and Maria died. The causes of death were as Nanjo diagnosed. She wasn't eaten by a spider, nor was she crushed by a mountain of cake. Don't worry. So you argue that even though you toyed with their death so much, it's all fine because the corpse is neat and clean? I definitely won't forgive you. I definitely won't forget all of that brutal treatment you gave Aunt Rosa. So I won't forgive you. It wasn't her though, it was the other, right? Like I said, that wasn't me. I believe I gave them a much more peaceful death than the way she treated them. Shut the hell up. I'm not talking to you. It was stated that there are no more than 18 people, I don't know who's talking, no more than 18 people on this island. Now that 8 people are already dead, we can narrow the field of suspects down to 10. One of them probably killed those 2. Or could it also be an accidental death? Like Maria was having a tantrum, and when Aunt Rosa tried to stop her crying, she misjudged how much power she was using and accidentally killed her. Then she was so upset that she slipped and fell, landed on the fence, and unluckily died. That would be interesting if all through this whole thing there's no witches and everything can be explained. Interesting. How's that? Oh, how's that? That way there's no need for a witch or magic. He has such nice eye color. Well, that's not quite true. Actually, Rosa and Maria... Shut up. Didn't I say I wasn't talking to you? You're an eyesore. Disappear. You monster. Battler said that without... Oh, you monster. Battler said that with outrage, but with a horribly cold voice. That strange behavior was something Beato had noticed right off the bat. In a fight, both of them could go at each other without restraint. However, he wouldn't even step into the ring. She could feel that coldness. Beato didn't find that amusing. She thought about flaring up, but she held back. Maybe even though she was innocent and childish, she had enough sense to realize that she shouldn't pick fights. Is that so? Then I'll vanish. Roneve, continue for me. Certainly. Will that be satisfactory, Battler Summer? There were no problems with her proposal. If Battler-kun doesn't want to see Beato's face, perhaps that will do. Do what you like. If I can live without seeing that monster's face, I don't care about anything else. Battler's mad. Hey, wait a second. You keep saying monster, monster, but isn't that a cruel way to speak of me? Why do you instinctively hate me so much, Battler? Let's see. I wonder why. Even though none of that was me, even though it was all the work of my disciple. It's not like I'm only mad about what happened just now. It's been like that from the very beginning. Hey, Battler. Don't misunderstand, okay? Aren't we just a pair of players confronting each other through a game? We look for moves to make things painful for each other, but... Don't get the wrong idea. I don't hate you because you're my rival in this strange game about whether I accept you as a witch or not. I just can't forgive how senselessly cruel you are. Well, serial murders are a part of this game. It's probably impossible to avoid a little cruelty. Hello. Oh, the big yawn. I'm not just talking about what just happened. There was the last time, and the time before that too. Tearing everyone's stomachs open and stuffing them with sweets, plowing their faces. What was the point of all that? Well... When it comes to closed room murders and tricks and alibis, I'm willing to give you a pass. Wait, who's talking? When it comes to closed room murders and tricks and alibis, I'm willing to give... I don't know who's talking. You want to claim that this is a murder done by magic, so I'll grudgingly accept that those complicated crimes need to occur. But what exactly is the point of all those grotesque murders? Well... nothing much. That's right. They don't mean anything. You're just fooling around by mangling the corpses for fun. This has nothing to do with whether you're a witch or whether it could or couldn't be done with magic. I just realized something. Oh, maybe it's fine. Never mind. I was gonna fix something in the stream, but it doesn't matter. You're just exploring the depths of cruelty for fun. This isn't about whether you're a witch or anything like that. There are just some things I can't forgive as a human. Well, what do you mean, as a human? For example, the 6 people of the first Twilight for this game. Well, other than Grandfather being burned black, the other corpses were killed in a normal way, without any necessary shaming of the dead. It wasn't clear whether the weapon was a spear or a gun, But anyway, as far as killing goes, that was acceptable. It was much better than the nonsensical grotesqueness and cruelty from the first Twilight last time, or the time before that. And this time, there were 6 closed rooms tied together to make a closed room chain. That was sort of interesting. When we were going back and forth with each other that time, to be perfectly honest, I thought it was just a little fun. Oh god, her face. Oh, no, wait, maybe it's him. I'm really confused who's talking. You were frantic to make me accept your existence, and I was frantic trying to deny it. We were both frantically doing all we could. This may sound weird, but I found a faint sense of sportsmanship between the two of us. We exist in conflict, but I faintly thought that we might not be completely unable to understand each other's something that I didn't read. Existence. But just now, that feeling was blown away without a trace. Oops. That's what you're misunderstanding. That wasn't me. That's not it. That's not what I'm talking about. You watched Aunt Rosa being killed horribly over and over, and you sneered at it like it was an interesting show. When I saw that, I was deeply disappointed in you. When I realized that your decision to kill them in a slightly better way this time was nothing more than a faint whim, and that nothing had changed in your cruel character, I was deeply disappointed. On the contrary, you were even genuinely enjoying those brutal deaths. You weren't just acting as cruel as you could to bully me. You truly, genuinely enjoy cruelty. Your character lets you enjoy it. You said I'd probably think that Aunt Rosa being brutally killed over and over was fun. You weren't joking. You enjoyed... Oh, that's him talking. You said I'd probably think that Aunt Rosa being brutally killed over and over was fun. You weren't joking. You enjoyed it from the bottom of your heart, wanted me to sympathize, and said that I'd probably think it was fun. In that instant, I lost respect for you and realized the truth. The problem isn't whether you're a witch or not. I will not forgive that cruelty of yours, and I can't understand it. I can't forgive it either. Still, I'll continue this game of whether to accept or deny witches. I won't step down and accept my own defeat. I won't step down into the hearted plan. However, your pointless cruelty is absolutely unnecessary for that game. So I've decided that I won't accept you as my opponent. Ronover's 100 times better. He doesn't have the same cruel hobby you do. Even if he does, he doesn't have the awful taste to show it off in front of me. Why is it so difficult for you to face the stream? You want to face the door, don't ya? She's like, why are you facing the wall? I don't understand. What's the matter? That's right, you have awful taste. You're heartless and cruel, so you can't understand. That's unpleasant in an opponent, so I don't want to see your face again. As Battler went on and on by himself, Beator was shocked into silence for a long time. Maybe she couldn't understand what she was being told, and this was a sign that she was doing all she could in an effort to understand. Hello. For a while, she kept switching between angry expressions, frustrated expressions, bold expressions, as though even she herself didn't know what attitude she should take. In the end, she made her face into a candid expression, as though she had come to her senses. And she shrugged her shoulders as though she was tired. Actually, this isn't good. Hold on. In that case, do as you like. From now on, I will continue this game through Ronover. You have no complaints as long as I don't show myself, right? For the time being. But I definitely won't forgive all of your cruel actions up until now. And I definitely won't accept you. Oh, now I'm like oh, whoops, hold on. Why can't I get it to be in a good place? It's awkward. I won't back down from this fight you've picked. And I definitely won't lose. That's all there is to it. Beator, no matter how many more excuses you give, his impression will not waver. I have something to talk about later. Until then, stay back. Indeed. Understood. Then I'll vanish until you call. She's changed so much. Looking lonely, Beato turned her back to them and vanished. Can you see Naru? Her little ears. There she is. Butler watched a slightly displeased expression on his face. He thought his argument had been valid, but for some reason his mood didn't clear up. She's an idiot. That's true. An idiot and a straightforward one. That idiot watched Aunt Rosa get killed horribly with me, then turned around with a huge smile on her face. She really believed that she could laugh with me at that cruel show. She really believed that I could sympathize with that emotion. Looking at that innocent smile, I felt just horrible. It would have been much better if she'd said it with her normal bullying face. Damn it. Milady has never had the experience of having a friend. In addition, she has probably never had something spoken to her that strongly. Madame and I are her attendants. No matter what we say, it will not reach her ears. For Milady, this is also... Don't screw with me. Naru just went... Hello. Am I being annoying to you? I don't remember ever becoming your friend. That's true enough. My apologies. There is one thing I would like to thank you for. Thank you for not backing down from that child's game. She spoke words of gratitude, but for some reason Butler made a displeased face. Look at the poor boys. Then, as though in self-derision, derision, he chuckled. Now that I've gotten even witches and demons thanking me, I'm screwed. Oh, I've even not gotten. Let's resume the game. Of course I don't intend to go easy on you. I wouldn't have it any other way. Unlike Milady, I do not get agitated. I've already made my move. If we suppose that Aunt Rosa is the culprit and died in an accident, I can deny the witch. I don't want to suspect Aunt Rosa, but I think I can bear to accept that premise if it'll beat the hell out of Beato. I will deny it with red. Rosa's and Maria's deaths were homicides. Okay. Let's start from there. Damn, I'm just not getting fired up. Look at all these poor paws. Whoa. It's like almost falling off the thing, actually. With Rosa's and Maria's deaths, it was now clear that the culprit was still hiding somewhere, trying to add even more murders to this chain. As he shed tears, Rudolph scolded Rosa's corpse for being reckless several times, but Rosa would never respond to that again. They decided to place the two corpses in one of the guest rooms and to seal it until the police arrived. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's not what you're supposed to do, but sure. The murder of the second Twilight had delivered a heavy blow to everyone. It had blown away the optimism that some of them had held, the thought that a crime didn't actually occur and it was all a game or a farce by Kenzo and the servants. What is it? I just saw that picture you put on Discord. Silly. Trying to distract themselves from the loss of the people they liked, George and Jessica had spent the whole time since morning talking about every possibility. And they had distracted their hearts by supposing that these murders might actually have all been an act. That's apparently the theme of this one, and that Shannon and Kanon were only pretending to be dead. When the next murder occurred, it destroyed that thought. And they were once again struck by the fact that they were talking about the other one as well. And they were once again struck by the fact that the person they liked had most definitely been killed. The tears that they thought had died away began to drip down once more, and Butler could think of nothing. And Butler couldn't think of anything to say to them. She's just all paws and ears, apparently. After that, all of the adults checked that all of the rooms were safe and locked, just in case. What is this music? They made certain that the shutters on all of the windows were down and locked. Then they confirmed that no one suspicious was hiding anywhere. On top of that, they checked their weapons once again, and checked with each other to make sure they were mentally prepared so that they wouldn't hesitate to fire off a preemptive shot if they saw the shadow of a mysterious person. Rosa's gun had been found near the scene of the crime. Someone had gone out of their way to leave it there, so everyone suspected that it was some kind of trap. But when Hideyoshi delicately used a fire iron to fire off test shots, a fire iron? I don't know what that is. It was able to discharge without incident. Oh, unnecessary. This is not necessary. Warning, warning. So since the 5 shots loaded into it had discharged, like, needs a trigger warning, loaded into it had discharged without any problems, they reloaded it with bullets and handed it over to the only adult male who wasn't armed, Hideyoshi. However, what is this background? The fact that it had been able to fire off 5 shots gave rise to a certain paranoia. This short barrel Winchester could only hold 5 shots. In other words, Rosa hadn't fired even once. And yet the 2 had probably been killed by someone with their bare hands. This meant there was a possibility that the crime had been committed by someone whose face they knew. When the first murder occurred, I privately thought of the possibility that it was all an act. My apologies to Dr. Nanjo, but if he had actually been an accomplice, I thought the deaths of all the servants might possibly have been a massive elaborate act by Father. After all, the closed room situation they were in couldn't have been created unless we supposed that it was all an act. We also suspected that. No, I still want to believe that's the case. My apologies, but that is not so. I am quite old. I might possibly make a misdiagnosis. However, I would never mistake whether they were alive or dead. I get it. Don't go out of your way to say it out loud, Dr. Nanjo. My apologies. They had no way of knowing. But Beato had already used the red to proclaim the deaths of the 6. No, the deaths of all victims so far in this game. That faint dream that it was all a farce, that the victims were actually alive. I'm sorry to say it, but that's impossible. I don't know who's talking. In that case, it makes more sense to assume it's someone familiar with the mansion. Someone hiding around and carrying out a really well-polished crime. So, ever since the typhoon came to this island and sealed it off from the outside world, there's been more than 18 people here. Of course, there was no way for them to know about that either. The claim of Rudolph's had also been denied in red. There were no more than 18 humans on this island. I might have a way to look at it that keeps things consistent, at least a little. Simply put, this person in hiding is someone who shouldn't really be on this island right now. And yet there's a likelihood that they were someone Rosa's son knew someone should lay her guard down around. So for example, could it be a servant who wasn't on this 2-day shift? It's hard to be certain about that one. When our servants finish their work and leave the island, it isn't as though we punch their ticket or something to make sure. If we're supposing that a servant on a shift from a few days ago and he pretended to leave the island and actually stayed here, that would be hard to deny. I don't think Rosa-san is such a fool. If a servant who wasn't supposed to be here popped up in front of you, who wouldn't be on their guards? I'm not even sure we should be assuming that it was someone she recognized. Maybe they suddenly attacked Rosa from the darkness and were about to steal her gun. Then Rosa fell, hit her head against the fence, and stopped moving. The guest house was nearby, and they wanted to avoid the sound of gunfire, so they killed Marie-chan with their bare hands. There's also that possibility. Still, even if that is the case, would they really intentionally leave Rosa's gun at the scene of the crime? We don't know what the culprit's armed with, but they've got to feel insecure about our guns. Wasn't that a perfect chance for them to thin out our supply? Why would they intentionally leave it at the scene of the crime? At first I thought that gun was a trap. That's what chessboard thinking says it should be. By purposefully leaving it, they wanted to make one of us touch it, and they must have wanted to make us pull the trigger. I was sure that something dangerous had been done to it to make it explode and cause massive injuries. And why didn't you say this earlier? But it was actually okay. The culprit probably panicked. I'll bet that right now they're regretting that they missed their chance to steal a gun. I don't like it. It ticks me off like it's a message from the witch saying she isn't even scared of guns. Oh, Battler's actually talking about the witch. That's interesting. However, in any event, this is truly a fearsome opponent. Even at a glance, they should have been able to tell that Rosa had a gun. To think that they attacked her despite that, and the fact that they're unafraid of guns should not be taken lightly. She is so sleepy. Indeed. It is NOCTE, he says. We should probably be even more cautious than we have been. This is just for peace of mind, but at the time we think Rosa's son was attacked outside. Where was everyone? NOCTE and I were here, along with Rudolph and Kriya-san. I can guarantee their alibis. Eva and I were together. I can guarantee that. George, Aniki, Jessica and I were together. When Aunt Rosa yelled at us to return to the second floor, we were chased out steps back to the cousin's room, all dejected. Back then, if we hadn't let Maria go... Saying that isn't going to change anything. Dr. Nanjo? I was reading a book in a room on the second floor. I was by myself, so no one can verify my alibi. But I believe everyone saw me return to the second floor with the children. Once I say this, it'll never end. But what if you jumped out the window, attacked Rosa, then climbed back up using a rain gutter or something? Can you imagine him trying to climb up a rain gutter? Oh my god. Don't be absurd. How could I perform a feat such as jumping down from the second story or climbing up with this old body? Let us stop suspecting each other. It's more important that we trust each other and, for the children's sake as well, defend this place until the very end. You're right. It's like Natsuhi-san says. For now, let's stop suspecting each other. That's right. We may be useless as far as searching for the culprit is concerned. We can only stay alive until tomorrow, inform the police and follow their instructions. Because the police will definitely expose who the culprit is. What is it, Eva? Is your body still feeling bad? Mother, what's wrong? Are you okay? Sorry. It looks like my fever is still strong. I'll be fine, so leave me alone. When they looked, they saw Eva staring at the floor, her breathing harsh again. She had been able to act firm for a time due to the urgency of the situation, but it seemed her body wasn't at its best after all. Yeah, I killed those two. Now we're the only ones who know about the gold. I won't give up even a scrap to the other siblings. What have you done? There was so much more of that gold, right? Oh, it's her. Giving Rose and the others their share wouldn't have been a problem at all, right? It would. That gold is to be passed on only to the head of the Ushirimiya family. That's because it, as a whole, represents no more or less than the honor of the head. To wound that even a tiny bit is definitely not something that I, the new Golden Witch Beatrice, will permit. Do you plan to continue these murders according to the witch's epitaph? Do you actually plan to become a murderer 5 more times? Yeah. If I don't finish that annoying ceremony, it seems my power as a witch won't become complete. Hey, me. The power of the witch is really awesome. It really can make all the crazy things we imagine become reality. The power to make dreams more than just dreams. Now that I've learned of this power, I can no longer stop being a witch. If I can finish the ceremony and make my power complete, I'm sure I'll be able to teach you that feeling too. Stop acting like a fool. Haven't you played at being a witch enough? We found the gold, and we've even been promised the position of the successor. We'll probably need to tightrope warp just a bit, but by now that's a dream that would definitely come true. Beyond that, what more could you wish for? I wanted to become a witch. I don't give a damn about that dream. That's right. Because I kept holding on to that dream, I've lived at this age forever.
Whenever you become an adult, when you became an adult, you threw that dream away. No matter how long you wait, the rabbit holding a clock won't visit you, and you won't be able to meet Humpty Dumpty. Of course, you definitely won't be invited to the land of cards, because you gave up and accepted all that. You became an adult. So you don't want to become a witch or anything like that anymore? You've even forgotten that it truly was your own dream at one point? Anyway, stop it. I've already gotten my hands on 2 dreams. The gold and the position of head. That's more than enough. So please, your dream has nothing to do with me. Stand down. No way. Magic's too interesting. Also, those 2 dreams of yours both came true because of my magic. It wouldn't be fair if my dream didn't come true too. I'm grateful for your magic, and I acknowledge that you're a real witch. So just stand down and return to the inside of my heart, and never appear again. No way. We're both misunderstanding each other, aren't we? That's right. I'm not you anymore. You are Usurumia Eva, and I am the Golden Witch Beatrice. So, it's not my responsibility to go back inside your heart. I guess I feel like a butterfly who's broken out of her cocoon. Meaning you. The fever is making my mind cloudy. My inexperience with magical power is forcing me support it with your vitality. Until I finish the ceremony and become a full witch, you might have to bear the burden. I'll take that as payment for making 2 of your dreams come true. It's fine. Don't worry, okay? For the remaining It's fine. Don't worry, okay? For the remaining 5 sacrifices, I'll avoid your family. Let's see. Rudolph, Kiria, Kraus, Natsu. All these people are her family, but... Oh, it's her face! Oh my god. Natsuhi. After that, what about that old geezer Nanjo? Perfect! I'll kill those 5 people. Oh, because they're the spouses. Could you call this a murder announcement revealed only to you? Ooh. Oh. Eva finally crouched down. What's his arm doing? Hideyoshi rushed up to her and leant her his shoulder. Are you okay? Let's take it easy and rest. Are you alright? Dr. Nanjo, take a look at Eva. When Nanjo and George tried to approach, Eva made a gesture to stop them. Like that. Thank you. I'm fine, Dr. Nanjo. I'm taking medicine. I apologize for saying this during such an extreme situation, but let me rest a little longer. Mum, I'll lend a hand too. Thank you, but I'll be fine as long as your father watches over me. Go back to the second-story cousin's room and don't come out no matter what. Understood? No matter what happens, you must not leave the guest house. Outside. That witch will... Oh. You should get a Narukam. I do have a Narukam, that's what this is. Don't talk anymore. Sorry, everyone, but I'll be watching over Eva in our room. Tell us if something happens. Hideyoshi and Eva retreated from the lobby. However, Eva wasn't the only one who wasn't feeling good. They hadn't gotten a wink of sleep since the previous night, and had been pressed by tension since that morning. I can do this. Oh! Look at our little fit-fits. They were mustering their energy to protect their families. But if they relaxed, even a little, surely everyone would be down and out. Dum 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 dum. Everything has gone as planned until now, but from here on out it will become difficult, you see? Difficult, meaning... Indeed. Normally, as the ceremony progresses and the victims increase in number, they begin to tighten their guard, and in most cases they hold up in one place and stop moving. That is extremely inconvenient for us. Are you saying that we witches are inferior to a bunch of humans in a group? Witches are never inferior to humans. However, perhaps you could say that times change and that humans have gotten their hands on a poison. This wasn't a problem long ago when people believed in witches, but just like that annoyance battler, people in the current era deny magic on a fundamental level. In other words, their existence itself is anti-magical. As a result, at some point they grew to possess a toxin inside their bodies that denies magic. In other words, you're saying that the more humans there are, the stronger that magic-resisting toxin gets, and the greater the disadvantages for us witches. The combined amount of power in their hearts that denies magic, in other words, their magic resistance power, becomes the denominator in the equation of your magic's power. Understand? Isn't that a bit too difficult for you? You're joking. Actually, I understand it easily. In other words, you're saying that the more people there are who don't believe in magic, and the stronger their will is, the more the effects of our magic are divided. Yeah, if it's so formulaic, I'll have to rethink my method of attack. Fundamentally, magic possesses a vast power. It can even make a rain of fire fall from the heavens or divide a sea, and reviving a lost life isn't impossible either. However, that power is extremely weak against a toxin that rejects it. And that toxin started piling up in humans since the time they forgot to respect things sacred, until finally this earth was covered with enough toxin that the miracles of magic could not be displayed. Ooh, it's a hard life being a kitty. Ooh, she's so sleepy. Thus, witches from across the world were chased from their dwellings. They had been forced to choose to throw away their magic and live as humans. Or else live in hiding in remote areas where the toxin of humans, didn't reach. We so gorgeous. In that sense, the Rock Enigma, with its population of only a few dozen humans, was extremely favorable. For witches. And even more favorable was the existence of the ghost story about the witch who lived in the Rock Enigma forest. In other words, by permeating the island with the fear that a witch might exist, the magic-resisting toxin from the humans was weakened. A small population and room for them to acknowledge magical beings. In other words, minds that were only weakly anti-magical. Only by existing in the valley where those two converged could a witch live in modern times. I'm just going to share this picture I took of Naru on Discord. I see. So, using this formula, we can arrive at several rules for how a witch can use her power efficiently. The first is presentation. Create a murder scene that couldn't conceivably have been done by humans, decorate it in an occult way, make it look very much like a witch exists, and permit people with fear to make them believe that witches exist. As a result, the anti-magic power and the denominator for our magical power will be decreased. I see, so this is why the creepy magic circles of the first Twilight were created. Oops, crap. That's right, exactly. The gaudy scenes for the first Twilight in each game are all for that reason. It's definitely not as though I like being cruel, or I'm doing it for fun. In that case, Predecessor Summer, you failed this time around. You killed them in a very plain way. It doesn't look like anything more than a simple mystery. I heard about last time and the time before that from Ronave. You should have damaged the corpses more grotesquely like you did then, making it look more like fantasy and instilling fear in those people. Well, about that. I thought it wouldn't be artful to do that every time, you see. Don't think too deeply on it, it's just a whim. Actually, it really had been her whim. After what Battler had said to her, she couldn't say it out loud anymore, but she really had decided her methods of killing based on mere whims. No, would it be better to say that she had half-heartedly let Ronave decide? It's getting hot in here. After all, she left the closed rooms of this game's first Twilight to him. But if she'd had a cruel idea, then she would surely have explored the limits of atrocity even worse than in the previous game. You told me to show some restraint when deciding Rose's and Maria's deaths too, but that wasn't a course of action beneficial to us witches either, was it? In actuality, by now, none of them believe one bit that a witch actually exists. They're totally sure that it's a mystery, not a fantasy. This turn of events is a failure from a witch perspective. For some reason, you keep doing things in a kind of lukewarm way, Predecessor Summer. Like they say, things you learn when you're young will definitely help you out in the future. This is a test passed on from my predecessor too. Take it on with respect. Take it on with respect. Ha 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 ha. Beto tried to laugh heartily. But it was obviously the fake laugh of someone trying to cover something up, and the new witch shrugged with a sigh. At this stage, it's probably too late to create a scene and reduce the anti-magic power. In that case, there's another move. Creating the humans to split up should work. Indeed, that is probably the most effective way. The smaller the number of humans, the more the denominator shrinks. As a result, the magical power functions instantaneously. In other words, it all begins from one point: how to destroy this barricade situation and have them split up into small groups. However, they are already very cautious. The barricade won't be destroyed easily, right? Both the barricade in Kinzo's study 2 games ago and the barricade in the parlor last time were very stubborn. Furthermore, most of the cunning adults still remain this time. The situation is more difficult than all the ones before it. Understand? If you wish, I could give you some special advice. In a closed circle, when the first murder case occurs, the survivors always hole up, gathering together to observe each other and ensure their safety. Funnily enough, not only do mystery authors and murder culprits worry about how to break that situation apart, but so do witches, who supposedly exist at the other end of the spectrum. For a while, the new witch poked her cheek with her pointer finger, like this, and after acting as though she was planning something, she spoke. No, I'm fine. After all, it is a test. I won't borrow your moves. Really? Still, it will be rather difficult to defeat this barricade, right? I've already made my move. I'm pretty sure it'll work. And it'll definitely work on someone smart. Is that so? You really are excellent. At least now you can see a little more of her. I'm pleased to see that my disciple won't be causing me much trouble. My motto is to study things myself before asking other people. Then, if you would excuse me, I have to wait for my prey to get lured out. Indeed. Well then, handle it with care. Hi. As the new witch lowered her head, her face blank, she turned into gold butterflies and vanished. Beto didn't look happy at all. She seemed to be lonely because of how little she was being relied on. Isn't it terrible to not be needed? Not one of them gives a fig for me. You witch apprentice acting so smart. I'll bet she makes some painful mistake and starts crying. Then, without a doubt, she'll finally realize my greatness and beg me to teach her. Until then, I shall watch from on high. She laughed loudly on the outside, but a laugh no one can hear is completely pointless. Don't I know it? Pietro gave up and quickly stopped laughing. Roneve chose that time to show himself. Excuse me, m'lady. The game of the second twilight with Battle of Summer has ended. I see. Good work. What was the result? My sincere apologies. I was forced to resign. By saying in red that both deaths were homicides, I made Battle of Summer revise his claim of Rosa strangled Maria to death and died in an accident. But I could not repel his chain of moves, placing Eva as the principal offender. Wasn't Eva sleeping in her room the whole time as Hideyoshi cared for her? He put forth the possibility that Hideyoshi was an accomplice and that the two worked together to create an alibi. He even suspects Hideyoshi? Couldn't you have struck back by saying in red that he was in the guest room at the time of the murder? I also thought of that, but multiple important pieces might have been taken several moments later, and because this move might be connected to the new Beatrice Summer's strategy, I acted out of respect to her. My apologies. Strategy, you say? And mine does seem to be sharp. We can let her do as she pleases. It would be quite a show to see how far she can go. I thought you would say that. I see that the uncuteness of your disciple has left you in a bad mood. It's none of your business. I wonder how that one plans to destroy this barricade going forward. I shall keep a close eye on her. Oh, and... how was Battler's mood? It appeared as though he had calmed himself down. He did say that he couldn't get fired up after all, without you as his opponent. Really? Well, that's no surprise. No surprise at all. If I don't return for the fourth twilight and after, Battler would probably be lonely himself. And with that, if you would excuse me, I need to go bake some delicious cookies. I must at least enliven the discussion between you and Battler Summer, milady. Indeed, that guy really was munching your cookies, wasn't he? It's no surprise that a boy can eat so much. Make a lot of them. Certainly. I shall make enough cookies to bury the table. Cookies. That sounds great. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. What's going on? What did you want to talk about? Kilia called Rudolph out into the corridor. Oh, it's her. What's going on? What did you want to talk about? Oh, no, it's him. What did you... Well, it was obvious that she wanted to talk about something that she didn't want the others to hear. Yeah? I want to go outside. Perfect. That's perfect. Alright, well, I think I might end the stream here. Time has just gone. I know it's kind of a short stream, but I have been streaming every day of the week. And I'm hungry, and I think it's kind of a good place to stop, because we had a murder, and now... Yeah, it has been 3 hours, right? It's weird. It doesn't feel that long. It doesn't feel that long at all, plus it's like a really hot... I need to go put something nicer on. But thank you everybody for coming to the stream. Sorry it was so short. I will be streaming tomorrow though. Probably around the same time that Octotegi is streaming. No, maybe not. Maybe it will be afterwards. I don't know yet. But I will, yeah, I'll stream tomorrow. I don't know what though. Not this. I'll stream this next week, like next Friday. But tomorrow I'll probably stream Elite Dangerous or City Skylines or Banished or something, because we obviously need to torture more innocent lives. Yeah. But anyway, thank you very much for coming to the stream, everybody, and thank you to all of my all of my patrons. There they are. There. Actually, I had a dream I got a new patron, but it was just a dream. It was a really mundane dream, so it was like, oh, I have a new patron, now I have to add them to the thing. And I just remember it now. Anyway, I had very weird dreams last night, actually. Very mundane, dumb, boring adult dreams. I mean adult, like, sexy adult. I mean adult, like, having to pay bills, having to go to work, kind of adult. Anyway, yeah, thank you to all of my patrons who are here. So thank you very much to John, Inkerlink, Red Games, Sivak, Ilnunya, Yomar, Adam Daniels, James, Ordinary Magician, Octotigi, Shinvan Impel, Jack, otherwise known as Featherfly, Rune, otherwise known as John, otherwise known as Arwen, Rune, otherwise known as Fipmeister, Joshua, and to Tim. Thank you very much to all of you. If you'd also like to become a patron, you know what to do. Links in the thing, in the description, in the place. And also, I'm going to say thank you to everybody who's in the Discord, because the Discord is really where my little community is. Because I don't really use Twitter anymore, and Facebook is pretty dead. It's nice. I really appreciate that people join that, and that they talk and they share things. They talk about games and they create Naru memes and stuff, and it's good. It's good. Anyway, that's the place where all my announcements are. So unless you've hit the bell on this YouTube, blah blah blah, then the Discord's a good place to be. Plus, we can just chat in there, so it's nice. But anyway, yeah. So I'll see you all next week. No, I'll see you tomorrow. Just kidding. I'll see you tomorrow. Playing something else. Yes. But I hope you have a good weekend, because it's Friday evening for a lot of you, but it is the middle of Saturday here, so... But yes, have a good weekend. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.